podcast. My guest today is the Superintendent of Pioneer Career and Technology Center, Superintendent Greg Nickoli.
Good morning, Dave. Thanks for having us over today. We're really looking forward to having a conversation, and I appreciate the opportunity to talk a little bit about Pioneer.
Well, quite frankly, it's always a pleasant conversation to have with you because you got so many great things going on. And right now, I know we're right on the leading edge here. Soon will be the sophomore visitations coming up towards the end of January, correct?
Yeah, January 25th and 26th, we'll have sophomores from all of our partner districts will come over and do a little more in-depth exploration of the programs that we have over at Pioneer. January is a really fun month at Pioneer. There's always a lot of excitement. You know, obviously we're coming off the holidays, and it's really nice to get the kids back in the building and see them. That's always fun. You kind of get a feel for how their holidays went, and they always have neat stories to tell. So that's a fun part of it. But then we start gearing up for sophomore visits, and that's a major undertaking. We'll have in the neighborhood of about 1,500 sophomores come through in 2 days, and so we have that pretty well orchestrated as far as the coordination with all the home schools and everything.
Yes.
So it's exciting around Pioneer in January and early February.
Now you have a lot of home schools, so that's why you say you're dealing there with that number of people. That's why.
Yeah, we have 14 partner schools, so it does include all 6 Crawford County districts. So they'll all be over at different times those 2 days.
So they'll be well represented. Now my understanding is then you have on that night they have the open house on Thursday. Am I correct? Thursday, January 25th from 6 to 8?
Yes, that's correct. Yes, what we do is in November, actually, our counselors, the Pioneer counselors, go out and share a little bit about all of our programs with each of the partner schools, and they do that obviously during the school day, and we give kids the opportunity to select 3 programs that they want to visit when they come over, and so we do a little bit of career exploration with them, ahead of time. And so they have a little bit of an idea of what programs they have an interest in, and then they go home and talk that over with their parents, and then they select the 3 programs that they want to come visit. And then when they come visit at the end of January, obviously, like I said, they get a little bit more in-depth information about each of the programs. And then that evening, we give the students, those sophomores, and their families an opportunity to come over and not only learn more about the programs that they visited, but also if there's anything else that piqued their interest while they were there, they can stop in and see those programs too. And talk to the teachers. We always bring in a few students so that some of our current students can share with kids and families, about their experiences at Pioneer. So we try to allow students or give students the opportunity to make the best decision for them based on what we have to offer. And we think that the more information, the better for families.
Let's talk a little bit about adult ed.
Yeah,
I think sometimes that's an area we don't often get into, but it's very important.
Yeah, we sometimes, and I'm guilty of sometimes overlooking that a little bit, but we have a very, very thriving adult ed program. We kind of specialize in a few areas. Healthcare and manufacturing primarily are kind of our 2 focuses, being that those are 2 of the larger employer sectors in our area. We focus there, and the nice thing there is most of those programs are relatively short term, meaning, for example, we offer welding, and a student can sign up for a 150-hour welding program, all the way up to a 900-hour welding program.
Wow.
So, the 150 hours really only takes a few weeks. That's not a large amount of time. And what's really interesting is we're starting to see more and more students who took a 150-hour program come back for another 150-hour program to get some additional certifications. So they get maybe some basic certifications the first time through, and they want to do some of the specialized welding that'll advance their careers that way, and so they come back to us again. I think that's the biggest compliment we can get is when we get repeat students who found it valuable enough that not only did they come the first time, but they choose to come back for additional training.
It's your publication. It's called Pioneer Pride, and I want to really emphasize what a great publication that is. So
yeah,
when you got that up.
Yeah, I can. I think I just missed the light.
Well, that's all right.
That's
okay.
All
right,
yeah.
We'll get back
well,
on.
It's probably in everybody's home already.
Yes, it is.
It came out a few weeks ago, and so we put those in the mail, and those actually go to all of the zip codes in any of our districts. So we send out about 60,000 of those per issue. And the really neat thing about that is that's all done in-house. We have a couple of our English teachers that write all of the articles, and our marketing coordinator makes sure that we have all the pictures that we want to use for the various articles, and then our graphic arts department does all the layout, and we don't print them in-house, but we ship those out to be printed and mailed. And so it's really neat because it allows us to really personalize the article and really focus on the success of our students.
Well, I'll tell you what I like, what I hear with that is that you got people that want to move their life forward.
Yeah. I say this every year, one of the most gratifying parts of my job is being able to be present and participate in our adult ed graduations, because a lot of times those are folks that may, they're just looking for that step up. And especially if they're earning their high school diploma,
Yes,
they may have
yes.
gone years without one, and it's always a goal that they've had in the back of their mind. And our staff is absolutely fabulous at helping them walk through the steps that they need to walk through to earn that. Interesting story. I think it was 2 years ago. We had an 81 or 82-year-old woman who earned her high school diploma through our programming, and it was something that she had lived decades without having.
Yes.
And her funny story was her sister, I don't know if it was older or younger, but her sister had kind of always teased her about not having a high school diploma, and so that was her impetus for enrolling in our program and completing that.
That sibling sometimes can provide some motivation, can't they?
That's exactly right.
Well, Greg, thanks a lot. Greg Nickoli, Superintendent at Pioneer, for coming over today and being a part of the podcast. And we wish you all the success here in 2024 and beyond. You have a great program there, and I hope people will avail themselves of the opportunity to at least check out what you got to offer, and especially the sophomores coming up here in January.
Yeah, thank you. As I said earlier, I really appreciate the opportunity to come over and talk a little bit about Pioneer and brag about us. My favorite part of my job is when I get to talk about all the great things that our staff does.
Well, you got something great to talk about. So thank you very much.